He had mentioned the first Be'er Aloha in terms of this man. According to the Mechaber, the first is the position of the tour. Then when do you light Hanukkah lights? It's Sof Shkia. So Mishna Berura says that was Sisakol Chovim. He cited others that it's what? It's 15 minutes before Sisakol Chovim. Then he cited the Rambam in the first Be'er Aloha that it's really Tchila Shkia, the beginning of Shkia. Let's see the next Be'er Aloha we're holding. V'lo Magdimim. You don't light it earlier, you don't light it later. Hu Miloshon Rambam, Vayim B'Ram V'Rash B'Pligi Al Zeh. In Mekor Rambam, Kos Rab Magad Shumimad Iso. B'Shabbos Chov Gimel Omid Beis, B'Vat Shlo Yag V'Lo Yachir. Before Shlo the Ayri B'Chanukah, Fiza Rov Poskim Forshlo the Aner Shel Shabbos Koi. Rabbi Nechananel, Rashi, Tosus of Rosh Rabbeinu Yonah Mordechai Breish Perek Tfil Sashachar Su Ein Lonu Mokral L'Dinu Shel Rambam V'Gamatur B'Simrei Nosiv Lo L'Inyan Shabbos U'K'tzas Pella Al Shulchan Aruch T'Sosam Simrei Samach Gimel Sivdad L'Inyan Shabbos Gam Minyoneinu L'Inyan Chanukah Minyoneinu Sov HaTur V'Efsh Gam Rambam Shu Mitzad HaSvoro Sheinu Nikol L'Fursumi Niso K'Shemagdim L'Shroga B'Tira Mayhani T'Smor Psochim. Right, what a light in midday, what does it help? Avokosh do tenech mosh betishka chama kipashte. Lomak shekodim shkio sheor hayom godol o midkar or haner. V'leka presuming isa. Right, before to light it before sundown, it's understood. You can't light it. Avokem shti shulchan aruch pirusha latur Mordechai dainu misof shkio. Which says kochom nuchaber paskins rules like the primary opinions like the tour. Varish magdim. Tzaskeruch Reva Shov, who was man ben Ashmoshes, fil das Rabbeinu Tam, Ike Ekushu Lailo, Veteda do Shabbos Gam Poska Shulchan Aruch, Shlo Yagdim Mitam, Shenon Hekesh Madlik Fol Shabbos, fil Ochi Yudur Shemuchen Kuliyam, Deliko Kodem ben Ashmoshes Anal, Alutzich Lomad de Mashamru Bilvat Shlo Yagdim, Dafko Shemadliko Barayom Godlo, Shos Dino Mintkar Shulch Fol Shabbos, Nyonei Ushel Shemchan Kemugach Loshna Shulchan Aruch, Lo shemadliko revasho or afilu chatzisho leir kodem tzitko chovim. He's saying like this. He says you shouldn't light it too early. Lo magdim. So literally, it seems to me, you shouldn't light it before tzeis. He says no, it doesn't mean that. Lo magdim means you shouldn't light it. It should be so early that you don't identify with lighting it for the night. Okay, that's what it means. Hineatur shdek sof shkio lo hetik b'lvat shlo yagdim. Rambam shetik b'vat shlo yagdim lo hetik b'sof shkia. Kosher madlikin im shkia. Rambam writes you light the lights with shkia. So l'shon perdal b'hilchos Chanukah halacha e madlikin neres Chanukah kodem shetishka achama ele im shkia also. Lo ma'achrim lo magdimin kavonis mamish kodem shkia. You should not light it before sundown. Chin shomru Shabbos lamedal shlosh dvar mitzorach odul ma'ir Shabbos v'chashecho hadlikos haner. Loshen im hainu zman kodem. Ma. So he's learning it means a little bit before Shkia. That's when you light, like Shabbos, you light it then. But I feel the first Ram Sov Rabbeinu Tam, Shkia Shnio, Gamanu Mechorch Lomad Zman B'Mei Shmos Mat Yoser. Okay, leave it to this. Let's go further. Holding halacha base. Shochach o hezid v'lo hidlik im ashkio. Person forgot to light it, let's say according to the Mechaber, at the very beginning of Tzeitzko Chovim, or he deliberately delayed it to later. Madlik v'holech ad shtich l'regel min hashuk, shuk mochatzi sho. You continue light within that half an hour. So ovrim v'shovim v'ika b'sumin iso. Since the people frequenting the street and the lights are burning, it's b'sumin iso. Hilkoch tzorch litein bo shemen kosei ashir. Therefore, how much oil they have to put into the menorah? The amount of the half an hour. He says, Tichel regel min hashuk shulchatzi sho vim nosan bo yoser yoch lechaboso lach shov zazman. But we usually put more than a half an hour's worth of oil. Let's say after half an hour you just want to put it out, it's fine. V'chein yochel ishtamish le'oro lach zazman. Mechaber says, it burns half an hour. After half an hour you want to use the light, it's not a problem. Because the light that burns afterwards is what? Is no longer Pirsuminisa. No, 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 no. No. Continue, he says it's. Correct, correct, correct. No. It's not Marasayan. No, so if it's beyond the half an hour, it's not Marasayan any longer. You're supposed to light. No. You're supposed to light the first half an hour. So it's beyond that time, it's not Marasayan. You see a person's lights on an hour and a half after Shabbos. Say, well, maybe he accepted Tosefes Shabbos and it's still Shabbos. So how did he put the lights on? Evidently, if it's a time where it's after the time, so it's after Shabbos. So therefore, beyond that time, it's already after the time. So if you're using it, that means it was lit in the proper time. Therefore, it's beyond that time. Right? So it has no relevance to Marasayan.
Right, but also if you put the light, you're supposed to light while people are walking the street, so there's no issue with Marasayim, because people are seeing you, that means people are still walking the street.
Yeah, but this is the optimum. The people even after first half hour, right? Still has no relevance. Today that we light inside, it's not so important to light at that particular period of time. So why would you light right away? You should light it as soon as possible. But in terms of Mikol Mokum Tov Lizor, Gamazman, as he said earlier, all this is Lachatchilo, Avol Im Ovar, Zaz Madlu. Look, let's say the first half hour passes, he didn't light. Madlik Volichol Laila. As long as it's nighttime, you're able to light. Im Ovar Kol Laila, V'lo Hidlik, Ein Lo Tashlumim. If the night passes, he didn't light, there's no makeup. You can't make it up. Because the next night, it's a new night. There's Ovas Mano, Bottle Korono. Hagob, Leilus Acherus, Yadlik, Kamoshar B'nei Odom, Apish Lo Hitlik B'Yishona. The second night, you're not going to, if you light the first light, what does it accomplish? You're identifying the night. So the second night's two. What are you going to light a third one? So it's not the light. It's separate. Again, it has no relevance any longer. Let's see Mishna Berura. Hilkoch tzorch litein kozeh. Mashman im hidlik zman ma achash kiesachamo. Tzorch litein shem kol kach rak at shtichel regel min hashuk. He says it seems from him. Let's see a light at the beginning of Tzitzik Chovim. How much oil do you have to put in? Only enough for that period of time. You had to put in that much oil because of the people who frequented the street. What's the shir? You do a half an hour. The Mechaber says about a half an hour. Hashir v'abs ben tzorch shir hazeh, avolim nosim o shemen harbe shiadlik yoser ein bo mishum mitzvah. If you put in more oil than a half an hour's worth, there's no mitzvah. There's no mitzvah that it should burn longer. It seems to be, it's not even a hidro mitzvah to extend the period. Av b'ner shel shavo yeshidu mitzvah kshen aruchos. Nothing wrong. I think what he means to say over here, you put in, let's say, 45 minutes, an hour's worth of oil. So initially, you're lighting an hour's worth of oil. When we rule halakos a mitzvah. Have you done the mitzvah in a more enhanced way? The answer is no. Right? But we speak at Hidra mitzvah. You did it in a more enhanced, more elaborate way. It's the same oil. Whether it's a half an hour's, the mitzvah is to light a half an hour's worth of oil. Now you have an hour's worth of oil. What's the Hidra? But let's say you use a candle, a more elaborate type candle. So there, it's obvious in what you're lighting, it's a more elaborate candle. So there, that would be considered Hidra mitzvah, he's saying. If the longer candles, because that, in terms of its appearance, it's a more beautiful mitzvah. No, because in the oil, you don't see the length of its burning. You look at a larger candle, you're lighting a larger candle for the mitzvah. No, he's not saying it's breeze. He's just saying in terms of the heater aspect. No. Oil is better because the ness happened with oil. The miracle happened with oil. He's not saying that. Ches. Mogen Avram. I don't know. We will see later. There is a heater that it's more presuming if it burns longer. I don't know. He says over here, he's quoting, unless he's quoting the Mogen Avram. He says, "Aim bo shu mitzvah." There's no mitzvah whatsoever to let it burn beyond the half an hour. Okay? Kos Beis Yosef b'Shem Orchos Chaim. Beis Yosef quotes the Orchos Chaim's the Rosh. Mishaberach vidlik ner achas balaylo shnio. You light one candle the second night. Yadlik achakach od ner v'lo yivorich. You should light another candle. Meaning what? Initially, when you lit the first candle, you didn't have a second candle. So when you light the other candle, afterwards you shouldn't say the bracha. He said the bracha evidently on the first candle. Now he gets another candle. You shouldn't say a bracha on the second candle. He says, initially he didn't have the candle, the second candle presents itself. You don't say, again, that's hidur mitzvah. Ki medina in chiyav rak nerechot, ba'ashar mishum hidur, kanal. Yochel lechaboso. The Mechaber says after half an hour you can put out the candle. She'enu muktzah, maktzeh Hashem and rak mashet tzoroch lishir chatzi shol mitzvoso. Only half an hour worth of oil has been designated for the mitzvah. So after half an hour, what happened? It has no relevance to the mitzvah any longer. Keimut lechaboso, lehonis mimeno. You're permitted to extinguish it and benefit from that oil. Kobog iskimu kam achronim. But he says, nevertheless, many of the achronim, they concur. You should say explicitly or have in mind that you're only designated a half an hour's worth of oil for the mitzvah, not more than that. It's all designated for the oil. I mean, you have tomorrow night also, right? Let's say you designate the first night you put an hour's worth of oil. So the additional half an hour, what about tomorrow night? So therefore you should say or think in your mind that the oil I'm putting that, whatever the addition beyond the half an hour, it's not for the mitzvah. So if you want to use it that night, you could use it for other purposes. They're saying the other way, that unless you say specifically it's only for this night, automatically it's for the additional nights. Because you designate it for Neres Chanukah. So if there's oil, you can use it tomorrow night. So therefore the designation is for the mitzvah. So therefore even if you extinguish it, you couldn't use the oil. No. That's of course you can use it for the next night. We're talking about using, you want to put salad dressing. Use the oil for salad dressing. Because since you need the oil for tomorrow, unless he thought specifically only this night, so the presumption is it's for the addition, for the subsequent nights. L'shtamish l'ora, v'yesh machmiring. Sh'ba'ot shener is dolken ein l'shtamish l'oran. Others, they argue with the Mechaber that if you didn't put out the candles, you can't. If it additionally was lit for the mitzvah, and they continue, but you can't use the light for anything. Ein l'shtamish l'oran mishum d'haroeh shlo yeda l'chalek v'toch zman shir lachazman. Yeah. He brings from the Sivas Derech Chaim. He says, according to this, even if you'd have in mind specifically, so let me ask you a question. Let's say you put out the candles, and now you relight it. So it says then you can. Why? The person on the street, does he know that they were extinguished? When he sees them burning again, he thinks it's burning from the first time, or maybe he lit them the first time a little bit later. So why don't you have the same Arasayim? Seemingly it should be the same Arasayim. The people know exactly what happened. They only see what they see the candles burning. You're benefiting from the light. So I'm just saying it's a weak point over here. Seems to be difficult. Yes. Yeah, but that was a lechatchila. That's lechatchila. But the avid, you can light it as long. No, said nobody says early. Ain't more mitzvah whatsoever, because they said that's the time. You don't need more than that. So good. So even for the family, half an hour is enough. For the family to see it today, we light mainly for the family. People in there. Okay, half an hour is enough. So you'd say, what about Marasayim? But even he said, even though today, still you should put it in the window. He said earlier, you should, even though. No. We light in the window. We do light in the window, even though the main today it's not. It's for the family. It's not for the people outside. And today people are on the street more than the first half an hour after Shkia. After the first half hour after Tzeitzuk Chavim. Okay. Why not? Why is it worse than you have regular oil, use it in a lantern? And you want to take the oil the next day and say, this oil I'm taking, I'm going to use it for Neres Chanukah. Is it a problem? The problem is the other way. If it was designated for mitzvah to use it for ordinary usage. Right? It's not where it was ordinary, now you want to use it for mitzvah. So he says, because it was only designated only half an hour's worth. He's designated only half an hour's worth of oil for the mitzvah. Anything in addition that was never designated for the mitzvah. Okay? So he says, Ramos says today that the main lighting is for the family, therefore you don't have to be that careful to light it immediately at nightfall. You can even light it later. But he says, nevertheless, the Ramos says it's still best. It's better to light it at the very beginning of nightfall. Right, so this addresses David. You're at the office today, that the main lighting is for the family. If you could do it at the very beginning of nightfall, you should do it. But if not, you'd light it later. The primary publicizing the miracles for the family. Now this is important. You should gather the family when you light it, because again, if it's for the family, so let's say everybody's doing their own thing. So even if you hold Nerishu Beso, right, you have to light one set of candles for the family. So you light it, and everybody's distracted and preoccupied with something else. It's the wrong thing. He says you should gather the family, that they should be present when you light the Neres Chanukah. You're not permitted to study when the time has come. Definitely not eating. Even if you began, you should interrupt. But he says, the Mechaber says, but what happens if you didn't light and it's later at night? Kol halayla. You're able to light throughout the night. Adamar shachar ubebrocha until dawn. The hainu dafkim nei bayit. Now this is important. Dafkim nei beso habayis urim. Because again, it's only if people are awake. Avalim yishenim ein levorach aleim elo yadlik lebrocha. But if they're sleeping, you should light without a broch. The modalitu lo hoye bevorach elo bizman pirsum anes. Chanami didan vimbo lebeso koram alos hashach mitzov nei beso yishenim. You come home late, it's right, but it's before dawn and your family's sleeping. You should wake them up. That you should be able to light with a bracha. You light without a bracha. You light without a bracha. Doesn't make a difference. See, then you have to light. Then you have to light at a time where people are on the street. Like the Gemara says, David, the Gemara says, they once asked Rabbi Chanim Mendoza. He knew who would live, who would die. So he says, I'm not a prophet. Same thing. I knew what David would ask even before he asked the question. How did I know? Okay, not a prophet, not the son of a prophet, but I knew he was going to make this point. It's not a good recipe. It's not a recipe Shalom Bayis. Okay? Let me ask you a question. Person gets a call 5 minutes before dawn. He won the $500 million lottery. Wakes up his wife. Didn't you promise me Shalom Bayis? What are you waking me up? No comparison. Okay? Once told us, there's a story of Rabbi Cheskel Abramsky, was the head of London Beslan for 30 years. So before he came to England, he was a Rav in a small town in Lithuania. And he was studying, and he was working on a Rashba, very difficult, for a number of days. And finally, he understood it, came to a level of it, at 3 o'clock in the morning. He was so ecstatic. He was a colleague of the Brisker Rav in Volozhin. They studied together under Reb Chaim. So he gets up, he drinks l'chaim, he dances around the table. That's how ecstatic he is. So the next morning, he tells his wife what happened. So his wife says, why don't you wake me up? I would have celebrated with you. So he says, I didn't want to wake you. She says, and if we would have had a grandchild, you wouldn't have woken me? Is this less of a simcha than a grandchild? Just tells you what kind of wife he had. Okay.